The Harrison family reunion was in full swing at my parents' sprawling estate when I pulled up in my rental car. 10 years away in Singapore had changed me, but the iron gates still looked the same, imposing, unwelcoming, just like the family they protected. I checked my phone. 11:47 a.m. By now, the ownership transfer of Harrison Technologies would be complete. 10 years of careful planning, all leading to this moment. "Miss, this is a private event." The security guard approached my car. I lowered my sunglasses and he stepped back in shock. "Ms. Alexandra? I'm sorry, I didn't recognize you." "That's the point, George," I smiled. "And it's just Alex now. The last time my family had seen me, I was a different person. 22, fresh out of business school, and desperate to prove myself to a father who only saw me as a liability to his precious company. Now at 32 I was unrecognizable, and not just because of the sleek black hair that had replaced my former blonde curls. As I walked toward the garden party, my Louboutins clicking against the cobblestone path, I heard the familiar voices that had haunted my dreams for a decade. "The merger's finally complete," my father's booming voice carried across the lawn. "Harrison Technologies is now part of Global Corporation. They're keeping me on as CEO, of course. Couldn't run the place without a Harrison at the helm. If only he knew." "Alexandra." My mother's false brightness cut through the crowd as she spotted me. What an unexpected surprise. The chatter died down as heads turned. My younger brother James nearly dropped his champagne glass. My sister-in-law Meredith whispered something to her country club friends. Dad's face turned that particular shade of red I remembered so well. "Hello, Mother," I said coolly. "Father. Quite a celebration you're having." "You weren't invited." Dad stepped forward, his custom suit stretching across his broadened midsection. 10 years had added weight to his frame but none to his wisdom. "This is a family gathering." "Really?" I accepted a champagne flute from a passing waiter. And here I thought it was a business celebration. "The merger with Global Corp, isn't it?" James moved to stand beside our father. "How do you know about that?" "The announcement isn't public until tomorrow." I checked my watch again. "Actually, the announcement went out 7 minutes ago. Check your phones." The garden erupted in a chorus of notification chimes. I watched as my father's face went from red to white as he read the press release. This is wrong," he stammered. "The announcement says, but that's impossible." "What is it, Richard?" Mother grabbed his phone, her carefully maintained composure cracking as she read. "Global Corp, acquired by East Asian Holdings, effective immediately." "Pie company," Dad's voice was barely a whisper. "They sold my company?" "Not exactly." I took a slow sip of champagne. "East Asian Holdings acquired Global Corp 3 months ago. We let them think they were buying Harrison Technologies when in fact, we..." James interrupted. "What do you mean we?" I smiled, remembering the day I'd founded East Asian Holdings in Singapore. How I'd built it from nothing, watching from afar as my father's pride and poor management drove Harrison Technologies to the brink of bankruptcy. How I'd waited patiently as he desperately sought a buyer, too arrogant to recognize my company's name among the interested parties. "Alexandra," Dad's voice turned threatening, "what have you done?" "It's simple, really." I pulled out my phone, showing them the corporate structure chart. East Asian Holdings now owns Global Corp, which as of 11 a.m. today owns Harrison Technologies. And I own East Asian Holdings. So technically speaking. I paused, savoring the moment. "You all work for me now." The silence was deafening. Even the birds seemed to stop singing. "That's not possible," James sputtered. "You left. You ran away when Dad wouldn't make you see." "No, dear brother," I corrected him. "I left because Dad said a woman could never run his company. That his daughter wasn't fit to lead. That the only way I'd ever set foot in Harrison Technologies was as someone's secretary." Mother stepped forward, her social mask cracking completely. "Richard, do something." "Oh, he can't," I assured her. "The contracts are signed. The transfers are complete. And tomorrow morning, there's going to be an emergency board meeting to discuss the new management structure." "You can't fire me," Dad found his voice at last. "The board would never accept it. I'm Richard Harrison." "Actually," I pulled out another document. "According to the merger agreement you signed, without reading the fine print, I noticed The board has already approved all leadership changes, including your retirement package. The color drained from his face. Retirement? Don't worry, father. It's very generous. More than you deserve, considering how close to bankruptcy you brought the company. Though not quite enough to maintain this estate, I'm afraid. James lunged forward, but two security guards, my security guards, stepped in smoothly. You evil witch. You planned this all along. Planned it? I laughed. Brother dear, I orchestrated it. Every step. The mysterious investment firm that kept Harrison Technologies afloat last year? Me. The consultant who suggested the Global Corp merger? Also me. I've been playing chess while you were all playing checkers. Why? Mother's voice cracked. Why do this to your own family? I turned to face her, letting my carefully maintained composure slip for just a moment. Family? You mean the people who told me I was worthless? Who said I'd never amount to anything without a husband to guide me? Who kicked me out when I dared to challenge the mighty Richard Harrison's wisdom? The party guests were openly staring now, phones forgotten in their hands as the drama unfolded. I could already imagine the society gossip this would generate. The prodigal daughter returns, as the boss. You're not welcome here anymore, Dad said, trying to summon his old authority. Get out. I smiled, pulling out one final document. Actually, Father, this is where things get really interesting. You see, I continued, unfolding the document with deliberate slowness, while you were all busy celebrating the merger, another transaction was being finalized. The deed to this estate. Mother's champagne glass shattered on the patio stones. What? The bank was quite concerned about those loans you took out against the property, I explained, especially when they discovered some irregularities in the paperwork. Did you really think nobody would notice the inflated property valuations? The misreported income statements? Dad's face went from white to gray. Those were private transactions. Nothing's private in banking anymore, Father. Not when you're dealing with international finance. It's amazing what people will tell you when you own their debt. James stepped forward again, fists clenched. You bought our home? Technically, East Asian Holdings bought it. Along with the summer house in the Hamptons, the ski lodge in Aspen, and... I paused for effect, the yacht. Though I must say, Father, maintaining all those properties on the company dime. That's the kind of financial mismanagement that got us here. The gathered guests began to disperse, sensing that this was no longer a celebration but a corporate execution. Only family remained, frozen in their spots like actors in a twisted tableau. You have 24 hours, I stated calmly, to vacate the premises. Don't worry about packing everything. I'm sure you can afford a nice apartment with your retirement package. Well, a modest apartment. This is our home, Mother whispered. We've lived here for 30 years. No, I corrected her. This was your prison, where you held your perfect society parties and pretended we were the ideal family. Where you told me I was an embarrassment because I wanted to work instead of marry rich. Where you watched silently as Father crushed every dream I ever had. I was protecting you. Dad exploded. The business world would have eaten you alive. I laughed, the sound echoing across the now empty garden. The business world did eat me alive, Father. And I emerged stronger. Every rejection, every humiliation, every night I spent sleeping on office floors in Singapore, they all led to this moment. What about me? James demanded. I'm still VP of Operations. Not anymore, I checked my phone. Your resignation was processed an hour ago. Though given the audit our team just completed, you might want to hire a good lawyer. Those consulting fees you've been paying to your offshore account? Not as clever as you thought. He fell back, face ashen. Meredith, who had been quietly inching away, suddenly turned and ran toward the house. Don't bother packing the jewelry, Meredith, I called after her. Those pieces you claimed were family heirlooms when you insured them? The ones actually bought with company funds? They're being repossessed as we speak. Mother stepped forward, trying one last time. Alexandra, darling, surely we can discuss this. We're family. Family. I turned to her, letting 10 years of pain surface. Was it family when you told me I was ruining the Harrison name by wanting a career? When you set me up on dates with your friends' sons instead of supporting my business plans? When you stood by and watched Father destroy every opportunity one created for myself? I was trying to protect you too, she whispered. No, you were protecting your social status. Your perfect family image. Well, congratulations, you'll be the talk of the country club now. I motioned to my security team, who began posting eviction notices around the property. The sound of their staple guns punctuated the heavy silence. The board meeting is at 9 a.m. tomorrow, I announced. Father, you'll be expected to hand over all company materials and access credentials. James, the forensic accountants would like to speak with you about those consulting fees. Mother, the estate inventory team will arrive in an hour. And then what? Dad asked, his voice hollow. You destroy everything we built? No, I replied softly. I rebuild everything you destroyed. Harrison Technologies was once a respected name in innovation. Before you turned it into your personal piggy bank. Before you started caring more about appearances than excellence. I turned to leave, then stopped. Oh, and one more thing. The company name changes tomorrow. No more Harrison Technologies. What will you call it? James asked bitterly. Phoenix Industries, I smiled. Because sometimes, something better rises from the ashes. The next few weeks were a whirlwind of change. The board, seeing the evidence of my father's mismanagement and my own successful track record, fully supported the transition. James's offshore accounts were frozen pending investigation. Mother and father downsized to a 2-bedroom condo in the city. I moved into my new office, father's old sanctuary, and began the work of transformation. The old oil paintings of Harrison patriarchs came down, replaced by modern art and innovation awards from my Singapore ventures. The mahogany furniture, stained with decades of cigars and patriarchy, was donated to a local museum. 6 months later, Phoenix Industries was thriving. Our stock had doubled, employee satisfaction was at an all-time high, and we'd launched 3 new product lines that my father had deemed too risky. Then came the letter. Miss Alexandra, my assistant said one morning, your mother is in the lobby. I found her sitting alone, looking smaller without her designer suits and society jewelry. She stood when she saw me, clutching her handbag like a shield. The condo is lovely, she said quietly. Much easier to manage than the estate. I waited. Your father. She hesitated. He's different now. Humbled. He asks about you. Does he want his company back? I asked coldly. No, she shook her head. He wants his daughter back. We both do. I've learned, that we were wrong. About everything. I studied her face, looking for the manipulation I'd grown up with. Instead, I saw something new, regret. There's a new cafe down the street, I said finally. They serve that Earl Grey you like. Her eyes lit up with hope. Perhaps lunch sometime? Coffee, I corrected her. Small steps, Mother. Small steps. She nodded, understanding. As she turned to leave, she paused. The company, it's doing so well. You've made it better than it ever was. That's because I built it on merit, not manipulation. On innovation, not inheritance. After she left, I walked to the window of my office, looking out over the city. The Harrison name might be gone from the building, but something stronger had taken its place. Something built on determination, not dynasty. My phone buzzed, a text from my father. I was wrong. About everything. I'm sorry. I saved the message but didn't respond. Some bridges take longer to rebuild than others. Some wounds need more than words to heal. But as I sat at my desk reviewing plans for our next expansion, I smiled. The scared young woman who'd fled to Singapore was gone, replaced by someone stronger. Someone who'd learned that the best revenge isn't destruction, it's success.